This has like that sunny, citrusy quality with the woods. It reminds me of just sitting out on a really nice sunroom. You know, you're insulated from nature, but you still get to enjoy the beauty of nature. You know, there might be some trees in your backyard, and there's some wood finish inside of the sunroom, and the light's basking in, and maybe it's a little bit warmer inside the sunroom than it is outside. The windows are kind of magnifying that the heat of the sun a little bit. Peace be with you, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Trevor. Really grateful to have you here. And today's video, I'm just going to be doing a full review of this fragrance right here. This is Robert Talbott for Men. Unfortunately, being a little bit of the bearer of bad news, I wish I would have done a full review on this one earlier. It seems like this fragrance has been bought out. It was already discontinued technically. The brand Robert Talbott, I believe, is a designer brand. They do clothes, among other things, wallets, belts, that sort of stuff. I think they hit some hard times during COVID and had to make some cuts. However, I stumbled upon it. It was going on Fragrance X for like $17 for this 100 ml bottle. Really kind of an insane offering for the quality of juice that's in here. Unfortunately, like, you know, other than Fragrance X for $17, this was all over the place on Amazon for $25, on eBay for $25, Nordstrom Rack had it for $25, so it was still readily available. There was even some other discounters that had it for like $50, and you know, I was really looking forward to hyping this one up on my summer cheapies list. Unfortunately, somebody went and just bought it out. Like, it's nowhere really to be found anymore on eBay, on Amazon, on Fragrance X, none of the other discounters, Nordstrom Rack, it's all gone. So I don't know, somebody either made this their signature scent, or Robert Talbott, the brand, decided that they were gonna like relaunch it and bought up all the stock. I don't know, but it was definitely a coordinated effort to bring it off the market, because there was so many of them, and I was checking in on it to make sure that it wasn't going away, so that way I could recommend it for summer. But unfortunately, it seems to have gotten slipped away from us. However, I want to do the full review just in case you do happen to see this pop up at a discounter. I definitely recommend grabbing it. I think $60 is about the upper echelon of what I would pay for this. At the end of the day, it's more or less a Terre clone, and you can get like the actual Terre for around $60 for 100 ml. I haven't smelled any of the flankers for Terre, so I don't know if this one smells similar to like Eau Givre or Eau Trace Fresh, but it's definitely a lighter, more easy to wear take on Terre. Definitely still has that same classy, masculine, put together kind of vibe. Pretty much the same note breakdown as Terre. This one does not have a, I believe like a slate. There was a slate accord listed in some of the Terre note listings. But this one does have grapefruit, orange, geranium, benzoin, I think like patchouli. Was it cedar? The woodiness in here. Yeah, I don't know. I'll put the full note breakdown for this fragrance right over here on this side of the video. But yeah, pretty much the same note breakdown as Terre, other than not having a slate accord. So that's what you get. It's basically a Terre clone, but it doesn't have that sort of dirty earthiness, and I think this leans a little bit more heavily into the grapefruit than it does the orange. So you get almost like a lemony type of citrus off of this, more so than that dirty orange kind of vibe. There's not really much earthiness to this at all. It definitely is just kind of like a bright, citrusy, woody fragrance. It almost reminds me a little bit of like Terre meets Voyage d'Hermès from Hermès. So this definitely has a little bit more of like a powdery nuance and a little bit more brighter citruses than Terre does. Also, presentation is really nice on this. It's kind of got like an Encre Noir style, Hashivat style, just a cube with this really nice wooden cap right here. Pretty heavy stuff. It's got the Robert Talbott insignia or seal up on the top, holographic. Do a B-roll with the presentation, box presentation as well, which was very much a class act. It's got one of those kind of like homage style niche boxes where it sits in and rests, and you can like pull it apart. Like I said, I'll put that up on a B-roll. here. But yeah, I've got a pretty good dent in this one as well. Definitely something that I really enjoy wearing. It's, like I said, it's a little bit easier to wear Terre d'Hermes. Definitely more approachable to non-frag heads. Like, I know when I first got my nose on Terre d'Hermes, I didn't vibe that well with the dirty orange, the earthy quality in there. Love it now, but as like a novice nose, it was like something hard to kind of process. This doesn't have that though. This is actually, I've gotten some of the most visceral women's reactions while wearing this fragrance, so it's definitely a compliment getter. You know, you get your main notes like grapefruit, orange, geranium, like cedar, benzoin, patchouli. I think that's kind of the gist of it. Definitely a compliment getter, kind of a Terre d'Hermes meets Voyage d'Hermes. Definitely something to wear in the spring and summertime though. It's got a very bubbly, effervescent, fizzy, sparkly kind of vibe to it. With the way that the citruses play off the top, it's got a very nice powdery, woody kind of feel to it. Like I said, I think it's cedar. I think there's cedar wood in here, which counts for the majority of the woodiness. And then there's like some benzoin that gives it this like slight powdery quality as well. Typical kind of Terre d'Hermes DNA if you're familiar with Terre d'Hermes, but otherwise it is definitely like a you know, very nice woody citrus cologne. Not the best performance. I usually get 4 to 6 hours with this one, which is pretty, you know, not that bad for a fresh fragrance. Fresh fragrances tend to last a little bit longer, less than warmer, colder, denser, richer fragrances. Definitely spring and summer fragrance is where I would wear this. It's definitely more like semi-formal, business casual. You can wear it anytime, any reason. It'd be a great signature scent in my opinion. But I think it's good for like a button-up shirt, just like a slightly more dressed up casual kind of vibe, but business casual, like I said. Definitely leans masculine, definitely leans a little bit more mature. I think 25 and up would be great for this one. I mean, you can pull this off if you're a high school kid, but I don't think it has quite the amount of sweetness that would give you as much attention that you might be looking for at that age group. So yeah, spring and summer, definitely like more mature, 25 and plus, business casual. People that I could see wearing this, I could see people like that are like well put together, like somebody like a pilot or somebody in the military. I think could rock this fragrance really well. Kind of like a business owner, somebody that works in like a corporate setting that's maybe not necessarily just in a cubicle, somebody that's, you know, maybe higher up in the business hierarchy, I think could wear this fragrance really well. Definitely, you know, maybe even if you worked in sales, like this would be a nice kind of way to present yourself, like real estate agent, just those types of kind of characters that are, you know, just disciplined, well-groomed, put together. They've got a profession that's demanding on them, looking for like kind of like a high-skilled position, like I said, military or pilot. I think it'd be great for this one as well. But very bright and fresh. If I could describe how it smells beyond just the note breakdown or comparing it to Terre d'Hermes, it's got a very nice woody facet to it. It's got a combination of different types of woods. Like it's got like kind of like a sawdust vibe, so there's like a powdery wood feel to it. There's like a wood shavings, like something like a pencil shavings kind of woody vibe to it. There's also like a polished woody vibe to it. So you get a lot of different nuances of woods in here. Like I said, the citruses are very bubbly and fizzy and sparkly. Kind of reminds me a little bit of like a like a lemon or orange or a lemon flavored sparkling soda, like a LaCroix. I don't know how you spell that or pronounce that brand, but yeah, just like those kind of sparkling soda waters. San Pellegrino, like a lemon or orange or a citrus flavored San Pellegrino. Kind of get that vibe off of the opening on this. Kind of like a fizzy citrus, lots of different nuances of woods. Kind of reminds me of just like a dry, hot summer day. Just kind of like the vibe that you get walking out on like a dry summer morning. Just the different kind of color palettes that the hues of the sun are casting out. Kind of a little bit like similar to the juice color here. Also, just like the way that this has like that sunny, citrusy quality with the woods. It reminds me of just sitting out on a really nice sunroom. you're insulated from nature, but you still get to enjoy the beauty of nature. There might be some trees in your backyard, and there's some wood finish inside of the sunroom, and the light's basking in, and maybe it's a little bit warmer inside the sunroom than it is outside. The windows are kind of magnifying the heat of the sun a little bit. That's this fragrance right here. That's kind of like a nice sunroom, fizzy San Pellegrino, lemon flavored or orange flavored. Lots of different woods. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Like I said, very much so ashamed to be the bearer of bad news. This is like kind of hard to find now, but keep your eye out for it. Definitely want to bring it to people's attention and do a full review on it. Like I said, projection is really nice. I get about a foot or two, but that only lasts about 30 minutes of projection, and then it kind of turns into, I don't want to say a skin scent, because you can definitely catch wafts of it still without having to dig your nose into it throughout the wearing experience. But yeah, about 3 to 6 hours with about a half an hour projection. So not beast mode by any means, but like I said, when people do catch that whiffed it's got a good sillage, I guess, so you could say that. And when they do catch it, like I said, this has been one of the most visceral reactions I've ever gotten from a woman on how I smelled. Yeah, so overall rating, I would actually rate this fragrance, I'm gonna say an 8 out of 10. The scent profile is impeccable, really can't get better than what this smells like. Projection and longevity could do a little bit better of work. They bump it up to like, a 10 grade from me. For the price, when you could get this, like, this is definitely like a 10 out of 10, $16 fragrance. There's nothing that even comes close to this in that price range. But overall, 8 out of 10, good presentation, good scent profile, versatile, elegant, classy, beautiful stuff. That's Robert Talbott Cologne for men. If you see this out for under $60 anywhere, go ahead and grab yourself a bottle. Alright, I appreciate you sticking with me to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you tried this one in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.